Catholic asafono wamo bishops asofo mpanimfo paano wamo ekuo eno no na wamo de atodwa wamo se afutuo kakra mde bo mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama nyina ene se asa mampani kakra gold no Galamsey for gold no nkete na wamo tuo no sika akra Ghana won boaboa no amoton ma won ma edi gold mu dwa ne yakoton ama gold board no ban ni nya mu sika nkakra akra no ano eno na ase aya ban ni da enti Galamsey so satuo no asa kofom kakra na won de nka de srese nka won benya enka sa enigie no a gold mu sika ye nya edi free mu say free Galamsey wo say free small scale yo say free large scale say free here ye nya ye bo ho amane aye ni agi aban no bo ho amane no enke emfa sa ho keka na ho ani bre emfa wura Galamsey ne satuo no mo na se satuo no enhyada enkoyi papa Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi oye bishop e wo sunwan diocese ana sunwan nyina Roman Catholic asafo no na woye president edema Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference no na wodi nsemi atu dwa na sasemi na wo mo kasa dia for mampanin ne nsem wodi tu dwa na wo twa mu bra wo hia nsentwofo to ye nimu kire se bra yi Galamsey ho nsem aba na nsentwofo ebisa ne so wo mampanin se de Galamsey no ese o men ne kon no ekosen no aso mampanin nsem no yi ano na kwaye de ye nya free gold num de ye nya free sika ye nya free efom no sika akwa ne yetu a Ghana gold board wanya sika se asa asem no ankasa nsentwofo bisa wan hye de nyia no eti ehunu ba bia asem no nyia no kokosi ye na sa asem we ni nyia no aba ne bishops conference asem nti yankwa amaso na ye ne Dr. Jonathan Asante ochiri ni komo oya political analyst wa ben e wa manyesemu ye ne nkobo nkomo ba ko mienu miensa bi mfa ho da kwoti yanka Angel Kase so ne Angel TV Angel FM ma hai
ya mne wa mejoso
ya da se no brapa awia de ye nha obebre Catholic Bishops Conference na womo de yi krate ababonten a womo kasa de akire aban titiro ne omampani ne nyina gina ensentwofo nhyiamu a na otwetwa mu omampani ye ya wo yi nsema no womo so omampani anu yi a wode ma ye fa Galamsey fight no anto woma sum papa ase asem ne bisa fight ne sa akosisen aban ne ti hu ana mo sen na nso omampani anu yi ne kwakwaye emfaso a ye nya free sika akwa ye tu ne Ghana asase mu no eno ho amane no obo eni go board anamo a wo tuo mfaso a go board de bre o men no eno na asenkomo no ekokosi ye na no na ye bisa e wa ha se ba bi a wuti sese ye ya wuti de ekohye obetimi akasa omampani ko na wa kodi ti Galamsey no ejina sen ekoye wodi nkunim ana enkoye
yomda wase amintia watie fo nyina ewi Galamsey, the fight against Galamsey, the moment it turns into a political football, I'm worrying now. The point is that Ensono Esaya my MPP and my NDC. And until we share the consistency level with respect to the Catholic Bishop Conference, I'm saying, Openi, Dr. Asigbe, the group and so. Abrantie Senyo Onosuni group and these groups they have been very consistent with respect to finance and Galamsey narrative. And I always want to hear their views. Secondly, say a commitment against the fight against finance and Galamsey. I must say our current government not demonstrated that kind of commitment. But is it enough? It is not. And that's the more reason why MSM Penny for Binomono are calling for state of emergency declaration. I think this idea of the economic benefit of Ejumadian Kofo Dino, I hope Kofo Mfa Angio Mampenino NC Siboni. Son say 24 says Ufie Pete would do a Ebika. This is in no way to justify the destruction Galamsey Edemayena. Not at all. I've been against it yesterday. I'm going to be against it today. That is the consistency level. Probably. Omampeni so 1 year already so obey declare state of emergency, as he explained to us, and say, as a state, we still have what it takes to deal with the issue. And you're only that radical approach, something different other than state of emergency. You know, about state of emergency, the state can declare state of emergency in those areas. If we say, Galamsey, Atiate, say, Miamiano. I was see a rule to say, declare state of emergency. It means to say, in those places, Emra and Yejuma, there's nothing like human rights. There's nothing like human rights abuse. Everything in terms of law, the constitution over there is suspended. The son said, it is like a jungle. That is a warfare for those who will be sent to that place. So we will all have to brace ourselves. Say, once that state of emergency is declared, things of that nature will happen. People will be extrajudicially killed. The son said they are environmental terrorists. And now, I don't see that happening. And so the Chinese who have invested in this Galamsey business, for which reason? I do some purpose. So we can't afford to take Galamsey. And yet, me and woman. Now, we Mahama train we are still Galamsey, but we're not destroying the environment in such a manner. When you speak against the Chinese, people will say, so, oh, can't afford, and Chinese also echo the same thing. Well, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And abatement of crime, you are indeed also a criminal because you know exactly what you are doing. Essentially, it is not by fluke, say, 200 excavators, or is it 200 excavators that are shipped into this country on daily basis, according to the transport minister. What kind of land are they going to use these excavators to work? What kind of work are they coming to do? If it is road construction, excavators, that tells you, say, it is becoming too much of a profitable business. That for which reason, fair-minded people are calling for the state of emergency that ought to be declared so that we deal with it and so on. I think, say, the radical approach that I'm calling on the president to ask it at this point in time to declare, it is something that will help. As I say, the only or one of the reasons that Ghana for betting your TSS, I have been Galamsey, a real payer. And say, for example, the Kwenyaku or so water treatment plant, Ghana Water Company Limited at Tumuno. I don't know what to it tells you, say, Galamsey, Kosoro. As I say, Eastern region, which happens to be the region of the former president and other important personalities within government, for River Yesu to do whatever they are doing to destroy the livelihood not only of those there, but everybody else. And then, I'll see a woman say, yeah, I said, yeah, but don't purpose, so be a. Say, Nipa won't delete this canton, and yeah, for mobile is Kafofi.
Doctor, what do you mean? Chawano Kra, not me issafrica.org on websites. Well, there's a researcher, Abba, one which said by the year 2030. Say Yanshan fight Galamsey, that time by that time no, Ghana will start importing water. Yen to me yen suaye wahano, and one for swobium, and raya de gumunia dean to me contain ni chemicals na, it won't so mubium afe. The only option will be say, I was say a crack and show free baby near the Abagana. It's not me they told you now okay so.
Yo, Minyaba, there me yaka try to say, good. In West Africa, you Ghana penewo, and you Ghana penewo. In Japan, is saying a Chinese for what you say, where your mamusa. I almost say, any man as a way of consolidating their position in this country. You see, we need to be very careful. The way and manner deal with economy. And I'm telling the stakeholders within the NDC government, for example, say, the President Mahama has won the elections in 2024. If they do not impress upon the president to do right by the people of Ghana, Galamsey will still become an albatross as it became an albatross around the neck of the MPP government under President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia. It will become another albatross. The goodwill of government is still very high. This is the time to act and act in an appropriate fashion. I ever keep this kind of goodwill. It is
no, but Yanko back to last week press conference now. President here, you know. There was another question on declaring state of emergency on fight against Galamsey. Yeah, na ya Ghana ha ye said na opposition sabra na Omampani His Excellency Nanado Etia Kunyaso no. No opposition they are very vibrant, very outspoken on yanko entia Galamsey. At the conference, Omampanika said yenya exhausted all avenues yede solve ye Galamsey no. Enti optionga last kra na be state of emergency declaration no. Enti enuru hokra. Baby a wuti se si ya no. Osha opane ho kan but osha baby a yedru sa stage ni say ye declare state of emergency.
I want to give our president the benefit of the doubt. President, His Excellency Mr. Ma, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt to say, what can I say? At that level, no, our data, say state of emergency being new. Most of the people who are more casano is because they have snippets of information and they think the issue is getting out of hand. But the career doesn't hear Papa. The problem that we are facing now is that small-scale miners are more concessions. Whether they are doing it rightly or not, we can't even tell. And gather and sell for Galamsey for somebody said they've been doing it wrongly. The president wants us to believe so the state has what it takes to curb the menace without declaring state of emergency. It is because the president knows that one state of emergency is declared. And once you transform the FBI as a nation, and I'm also of the view, and I'm supporting him on this, I'm also of the view, we don't have to get to a point yet declare state of emergency in this particular or these areas. Now, human rights activists, people are being killed extrajudicially.
Right.
I think that nobody is going to listen to them. So I believe send your work only so all radicalize the solution to the problem. Because so far, we demonstrated the commitment. He's in a position to solve this problem. And I believe, I never heard of a place called Sodom and Gomorrah until, it tells you, the fight is on, but it's still not a problem that has been solved. And he said, he didn't say he was going to solve it in a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, whatever. But still, it is a problem that everybody must be interested in. It affects the livelihood of everybody, whether rich or poor. And someone benefits, maybe information, necessary information, I hope not only necessary security, also some commission behind the scenes. No some come yamia, no data, no fambreno. That is different from the NIB or the National Intelligence, National, what's it called? What do you mean?
Intelligence Bureau.
And gather intelligence in the national security, yes.
National security, CID crowd.
I think he can go behind them, commission other people who know how to get the right information. Okay. And let them give him that information. Let's say, people on the ground, you are just at the Jubilee House. You have not visited these places for you to ascertain firsthand near Koso. In Crawford, report at the mount. And then, you can equally do that by getting other information, not from these recognized bodies, but from a different source altogether, so that you can act accordingly. Maybe with that, you'll be able to say, no, maybe I have to declare state of emergency, and everybody, whoever your ox is God, and then they have fun of him. But finally, if you say, state of emergency, but that radical approach for whatever, give a moratorium of 2 weeks. 2 weeks, catch your BS. I'm giving you 2 weeks. Moving through whatever machine I'm decided, moving through whether you are doing it rightly, responsibly or not, moving through.
Okay.
Secondly, then you commission the you drones to get the live feed of all these places. That is your data. Thirdly, then you can unleash the military into all these places. As I said, the piano, there will still be some recalcitrants. They will still be doing it. Now that is where these people, their rights as human beings will be what? Will be null and void. Because these people are bearing arms. And the soldiers and the police will not go there, not bearing arms. They will go there bearing arms. And because what from everybody should be wearing a body cam. So that we don't want a situation. Fire soldier for about Musika. How may I Ghana for me a police for? I'm a just Sikano. Now, just uncle for This is one of the main reasons why Galamsey and Tokwana Yentimi and we pay. As I say, the people that we think can solve the problem for all of us, when they get there, they are equally compromised. And next, Nancy Amache say, IGP and for you, they have been withdrawn. I don't think they have been withdrawn so that people will continue doing Galamsey. It is because one way or the other, they have been allegedly compromised.
Okay.
So we cannot allow them to perpetrate, unlawfulness when you are supposed to go and keep, the law over there. At the end of the day, once everything, these things that I've suggested, then we can do an assessment and see, say, but on your minute, finally, if Galamsey to me to assist, man, very minimal, it will be shown by the turbidity of the water or the river bodies. If these things are still as high as they received from the previous government, then I think that the fight will still have been null and void.
No, not just a bearers minimum, and not just a yentimin to us. We all, accept it, so we cannot yentimi eradicate totally, but see the Baba from it's almost insignificant.
Yeah, very good. I don't see that happening. As I'm saying, one more until the excavators people are still doing that. I'm saying, Rollins are better, so the say, I'm going to be able to
but yes,
they were just using implements, small way. Number two, that is what we knew.
You. Dog, and command Galamsey won't command your Cassia bar, a dear batch near me. But as time goes on, said and command a good soa, a cosono. Yenyabuaha, a chair, a besato, so yet that's a sabri, I bought Pruma, I out so dog. Yeah, that's it. I was for the end of the Cassa, ye, Uti and Cassa, Wabi, who are being, ya come on your somewhere, baby, at the Belgrabia, Wabi or Hopper, Dr. Jonathan Asantiochi, or no, any ball and come. Now, just so we all know, farmers.